Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're an hour later, so I got a chance to show off my sunglasses. See how cool I look. I'll be looking in the sun like this when I talk to you, Michael. But good morning, everyone. We're back from another morning ritual by the sea. Glorious, glorious. This week is even a bit warmer than before. Good afternoon to some people. We did our morning ritual as per usual, and it's been a couple of degrees warmer this week, so it's fantastic. It's like 19 degrees in the morning. We dive into the ocean, we make our stand, we come back, and this morning as we walk back to the house, we got invited by some neighbors, so we had some coffee, talked a little bit in Michael in his broken Portuguese, me in my non-existing Portuguese, and it was nice. So that's why we're an hour later.
Let me paint more of the full picture here. So we don't meet women around here, like mostly in most days for a month and a half. So there's no, normally when you're here in Brazil, you greet a girl, she'll give you a kiss on the cheek, and it's so warm in Brazil. Here it's, lately it's been really warm with the sun, but the personal connection because of the quarantine, and I'm sure many of you can relate, that warmth is missing. So we're walking back and the sun is shining, and the neighbor woman we met last week, an older lady who cooked us dinner on Sunday, and she cleaned our house a few days before. She was out there with her daughter, and they were out there in the morning sun, and we started talking, and we chose to make an exception in our rituals to just spend an hour there this morning taking coffee and connecting, and it was pretty rich. But Hans, you had the topic for today.
Yes. My sister is watching. Dag Joke. I was wondering this morning about, how would I say this best? I put the title, Why We're Not Living the Life That We Know We Want. And it's something that frustrates me as a coach, because it makes me feel less powerful than I would like to be. And it's this. Like last week I work with two guys, and they contact me. This is actually going to be a question to you. They contact me in a time of need. Say K and F. Each one of them were in a situation where one, because of the whole situation with quarantine and whatever, he felt that the girl was taking distance. Not just physically, but that she was slipping away, and he was afraid.
He's losing his girl.
He's losing the girl, and he's like contacting me. What can I do to keep her, to have her come back, to hold her? And F contacts me also, and it's very similar.
These are strange names for guys. F and what's the other guy's name?
I'll call them Quito and Fabian.
Okay.
And but both are very similar in the sense that they contact me in a time of crisis when they're afraid that they're gonna lose the girl they like, and they want her back. Much like they would contact a doctor when they have some acute pain. And they contact me, explain the situation, and I like helping about it, and I tell them what you could do right now is this. And I say also in the same breath, but this is a good solution now, a temporary solution, like a medicine would take care of the symptoms.
Yes.
But I want you to know that if this is just medicine for the symptoms, and if you don't change your ways, it will come back.
Yes.
And you will lose her. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
You got to change your way. You got to change your lifestyle. You can't just take medicine whenever there's a crisis.
Yes.
And when I talk to them, I can see they're very grateful for the medicine right now, for being helpful right now, and they 100% see that what I say is true. I have to change my ways.
And if they don't, they'll lose her.
And if they don't, they will lose her. It is
Yes.
just a matter of time.
And then mostly, guys won't make the change. They
And
won't
then-
make the big transformation.
Exactly. And so they kind of, they accept it, they see it, I can see they believe it in the way we converse about it.
Yes.
But not only do they, it's almost as if they don't want to hear that part. And it's almost as if the only chance of them changing their ways is that they feel so guilty by me saying it. They say, "Oh fuck, I better."
Yes.
Hans tells me I know it's true. I
Yes.
better do it because of Hans.
Yes.
But there is no internal, in these specific cases, and I saw it often. There's no internal commitment, investment, saying yes, and I'm doing it. It's almost like I know this to the truth. I know this to be true, and I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. Don't talk to me. Okay, you're talking to me about it. Yeah, I should do something about it. Oh,
Right.
he's not talking to me. That's better. I don't
Right.
hear about it. I
Right.
can go back to sleep. I'm not addressing it. I'm
Yes.
not facing it. That's more comfortable than the shame I feel having to face that I have not been doing it.
Yes.
And now I also have to do it.
Let me just quickly agree with Hans and then get off the call and forget about it. Or let
Yes.
me just say something to her and hope that'll help and then go back to just being the same guy.
Yes.
This is the big challenge of transformation.
Yes.
You know, how do you really evolve? How do you really become a greater man? How do you really change your life?
Yes.
And to use the Matrix analogy, it's as if, you know, a lot of people when they watch the Matrix and they think of like maybe the Matrix is somewhere out there, right? Or it's somehow just this external programming and beliefs in our head. But in a very real sense, you know, Matrix, it really means womb,
Yes.
right? Where something is born. But it's also a very comfortable place, the womb,
Yes.
right? The infant inside of the womb. The infant inside of the womb does not want to come out of the womb. It's perfectly comfortable there. And eventually it gets forced out.
Right.
But if it had its choice, like, does it want to leave the womb? No, it doesn't want to leave the womb.
This is great that you say the Matrix is not something out there to rebel against, or it's really the thing that we have created right here around us,
Yes.
or that is there around us.
It's all the ways that, for example, we've conditioned the people in our life to not challenge us on certain things.
Oh, this is great.
Back off, that's personal. Shut up, whatever. Or the ones who challenge us too much, we cast them aside.
Right.
We don't call them anymore, whatever. We go and we create some measure of comfort. You can also think of like a bird's nest, right? It's our little nest.
Yes.
It's our little place of comfort and safety. And, you know, you got this bird outside the nest. It's Hans, and he's saying, you have to fly, or nothing's really going to change. And then you tell Hans, okay, I understand. Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks, Hans.
Yes.
You know, I'll fly tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow, you wake up tomorrow, and you think about that, and you look over the side of the nest, and you're like, whoo, that's a long way down. I don't know about that. Maybe tomorrow, you know. And then what happens is you stay in the nest.
Right.
And you never become this great flying beast, right? You never experience the transformation and the adventure and the greatness, the evolution that's possible if you make the leap. You just stay in the nest. And you know, we talked about this yesterday about a great way to have transformation happen is leaping from the nest.
Yes.
Being forced to fly, and yeah, maybe you crash and burn on the way down, but hey, at least you'll be in a different world then.
Right.
You won't be able to so easily just go back to your nest. You'll be forced to evolve.
But that's a great point. You'll never attain the greatness that you could attain. But I'm having like this because I had a thought that I kept. But also, I could see how people say, yeah, that greatness, maybe it's not for me, and I don't really. But there is also the knowledge and the understanding, and I'm convinced that they see it, that with the comfort that you have now, there is a slow suffering, and it will end bad. specifically with that girl, it will end. I know it will. Your
So
relationship.
why wouldn't they do it?
Why wouldn't they do it?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, why wouldn't they do it? Because my first reaction is we're thinking short term. It's comfortable right here, right now. I can do it later. You know, I'm not ready yet.
Right.
It's like the coronavirus. Now you see people how they react when they really feel like they're faced with death the first time. They think, "Fuck, I could die," and so they react.
Yes.
You know, but they don't react to. They don't react to the same thing to obesity or heart disease or car crashes because that's far.
If they're
down
forced,
the line.
if they're forced out of the nest, yeah, they'll fly. If there's a cougar in the tree and it's walking down the branch and it's coming for the nest, yeah, they'll jump.
Right.
You know, they'll jump. And most of them, maybe.
Right.
But so if we map on the inner conflict diagram, right,
Okay.
which you don't have that much exposure to, but
The inner conflict diagram is a technology that Michael developed over the years.
So choose the more comfortable option, stay in the nest,
Yes.
and to avoid feeling guilty for staying in the nest and not jumping, you'll tell yourself something like, I understand, Hans.
Right.
I'll do it tomorrow. That lesson, we act as if that's true. We act as if we do understand and as if we will do it tomorrow. But what we've just done is made it more comfortable to stay in the nest.
Right.
We have, in fact, made our nest stronger, the wall a little bit higher.
Sure.
So tomorrow maybe we can't as easily see where we could fly to. We won't feel the wind that stimulates our wings and our instinct to fly. With every compromise and every little lie we tell ourselves to make the compromise okay, we build the wall, and pretty soon the nest is total.
So I realized that by me giving the medicine, I almost make it worse.
Yes.
I almost make it worse. Could you, man? That's
yes.
Could you?
Because let me just say this. You also didn't really distinguish that, and this is what people will do. This is their rationalization. I know. I understand.
Right.
I get it. And then they're comfortable again. What they've just done is they've lessened the pressure that you brought.
Right.
You bring something to them that I might have to act. I understand that. I get that.
Right. Back off.
Exactly. Back off. I understand. I know that.
Exactly.
And so what we want, like what I see is we want to feel like the warrior on the battlefield. I'm facing everything. Yes, I feel the fear. And I'm fucking ready in response. We don't want the comfort, because the comfort takes away the instinct to be aware and ready to act.
When you say we don't want, what do you mean? Because a lot of people seem to want the comfort.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not what I want. As
Okay.
someone who I want to live an adventurous life.
Great.
I want to transform. I want to be on a great journey that challenges me.
Like I can see, and we can go back into it, how, and it's really good, how by compromising, we made it actually harder to make that jump in the future.
Yes.
And so we add to the suffering down the line.
Yes.
But backing up, when you talk about the inner conflict, what is, maybe you can, I don't know if with limited time you could do this, but I would love to see what is the inner conflict that Keto or Fabian is going through, because you've told me this before, and I think it's very interesting. They see what is the inner conflict that's going on, and that have them end up by choosing more comfort and compromise. Like, what do they see when I come with the, hey, you got to change your lifestyle? What's the inner conflict they go through?
Yeah, well, I mean, really, that's up to them, right? But they imagine making the change that you say, you see.
Yes, yeah.
And they feel something.
Yes.
Probably fear.
Yes.
Right? Because they would have done it already, perhaps. So then they think about not doing it.
Right.
And they're really aware that they should do it. They agree with you, right? I should do it. But if I do it, fear. If I don't do it, guilt. So then they think about doing it, but then there's fear. But then they think about not doing it, then there's guilt. It's this loop.
Right.
It's this, and it's stressful. The inner conflict is stressful. They need a way out.
Yes.
They need a way out.
And one would be to jump.
Yes.
Because then you get rid of the fear.
Yes.
And
Well, you're going into the fear.
you're going into the fear.
Right? You're saying, in the face of the fear, I choose this.
Right.
Right? That's when you put yourself in a whole different reality.
But what most people do is not face the fear and not do it, and then they're left. I'm running through it
To
now
avoid
see
the
if I
fear.
do it. Yes.
They'll do the thing that they'll avoid doing the thing they're afraid of,
Right.
and then to avoid the guilt of not doing it.
No. That's the step, because they choose to not address the fear and not do it, and the only negative thing is that a possible guilt,
Yes.
feeling guilty for not doing it,
Yes.
and so now we have to deal with this.
Yes.
And how do people deal with it?
I'll do it tomorrow, Hans.
Right.
Why should I feel guilty if I'll do it tomorrow?
Right. Exactly.
Or I know, I understand this. Yeah, I'm working on it. Right?
So faced with me saying you got to change your lifestyle, they know, fuck, I should do it. You know,
Yes.
when they think about I should do it, they feel a lot of fear. I got to
Yes.
jump. Fuck, I don't want to do it. You know, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna choose not to do it because I don't want to face the fear, which comes with guilt. And to avoid the guilt, they say I'll do it tomorrow,
Yes.
or I know, or I'm not ready yet, or I'm working on it. I need to read
You're
another
right.
book.
You're right. Just stop
Yes.
having me face it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like I would call them out and say, let's talk.
Yes.
And I can see there's an avoidance there.
Yes.
Even like, I don't want to, because
Yes.
then there's more guilt. Whenever they hear my voice,
Yes.
they feel more guilt,
Yes.
and now they have to deal with it again.
Yes.
So
No, I was telling you the other
that's
day.
great. That's fantastic.
I was telling you the other day about the beginning of the ice stand, the first full day after the morning, and everyone's coming. Everyone has a front row seat. It's a circle, so there's no hiding
Yes.
in the back row or behind a desk, and I can see everyone's body language. I can see the look on their face, and what I'm looking is, are they facing? And I know they're facing and feeling it. If they're like, they're not. When you close your body up, you can't feel as much, right? If they're open body posture, they're maintaining eye contact, and like they're becoming a little, they got to breathe a little bit. Like, okay, they're feeling the pressure, And the ones who are really comfortable, like, I know that the way they're responding to the pressure that I'm bringing to face themselves, because I'm not telling them what they should do. I'm just having them face themselves and the things they say they value, what they say is most important, and I'm having them face it. And their body language and their voice tone and the things they say will be a reaction to the pressure I'm bringing to
Yes.
then make it more comfortable and sit in their nest. Like, they could sit there, you could sit there through an entire event in your mind responding to the speaker like, yeah, I know that, like, okay, when are you going to get to the good stuff,
Right.
or whatever it is. All these narrations are making it so they don't have to face. It's making it so that they don't have to really be
Right.
present. And so this is the first thing that we really address is readiness. And what is it to be ready? To be ready, and the difference between being prepared and being ready.
Or how can you be ready? Because I want to say both to Kido and Fabian, that I don't judge him. I really want to understand
Yes.
what's going on, so I can find better ways to, and it seems that this is the key now, to when they choose between facing fear or dealing with guilt, that they still face fear.
Yes.
Because it does
Yep.
seem more easy to live with guilt and address that. Short term, that seems like the better solution. It's normal, because to face the fear, that's a big thing now.
Just to survive. Okay, give me some comfort.
Right.
It certainly feels more like survival in that moment. But what you're doing is you are ignoring the call from your own consciousness to face that this thing is important to me. This is survival. This is
Yes.
thriving. It's easy if your child runs out towards the street. You might feel some fear, but you're going to go act for your child. Well, what about these other things that you say are important to you?
But they know this. They know that this is true. It's not that they don't see this. They know, when I talk, they know they have to live that life.
This is your trap.
Yes.
Knowing is The easiest rationalization.
Of course, but
is.
but they know, they are convinced. I'm trying to understand the thinking process.
Yes.
They know, yes, I should do this. I know it's right, but it's completely normal that someone, when faced with the acute danger of here and now, the fear, or not do it and just deal with the shame. It's when it's so easy to think I'm going to do it later, and that suffering comes just down the line when I'm not listening to it, or it just comes down. It's not right here and right now. It's normal that people choose that. It's normal they choose the comfort. It's normal that they say, that they then deal with the guilt and say, I'll do it later.
Yes.
But what's essential in this story, and what maybe not be very present to a lot of guys, is what you said in the beginning, is every time you choose that path, not doing it, and living with the guilt, try to deal with it, every time it becomes harder.
Yes.
It becomes harder to jump next time.
Yes. You're locking in this matrix that puts you to sleep.
I think that's what I, as a coach, need to make clear. It's not just short-term, long-term, but if you choose to not change your lifestyle right now, it's going to be harder down the line.
Yes.
So, you're making it worse for you right now.
Yes.
That is a good way of bringing it, I think.
Yeah. But there's even it's such a challenge, because you could even take the action right now to if you show them this, like, all right, I have to act, and they go act, and then they can be comfortable again.
Yes.
So even the bigger question is, how do you create a matrix that gives birth to the warrior?
Yes.
How can you create a matrix that results in your evolution?
Yes. How do you create a matrix where anything that starts resembling a womb, you go, fuck this, I don't want this.
Yes.
I want...
But a womb for greatness.
Yes.
Right?
Well, yeah.
To me, this is partly what having an ally is.
Yes.
I want you to bring to me every way that you see weakness.
So
maybe not all at once, maybe not all at the time, but I don't want you, when you notice I'm not waking up, I'm staying asleep, I'm allowing myself to betray my values, my what I say is important to me, then you call me out so that I don't go back to sleep, so that I don't start building this nest.
So it's really, that's where the system comes in, and the system is many things. Is the rituals, is the allyship. So what the task is, man, I see it now way more clearer, is when you realize, is making clear, I think maybe part of our job, what we can offer, making clear that every time you choose to not face the fear, and you choose to not do it and then just deal with the guilt, you make what you're afraid of, you make it even bigger, and you make the jump bigger. So it's better to act now. Once you decided, okay, I'm going to do it, that's the first step.
Yes.
And that's beautiful. A renouncing or a really taking action.
Yes.
But what you really need to commit to, I think, and that's what I've been learning here in the past month and a half, is you commit, not relying on your discipline and your courage, I'm going to do this, but really you commit to building a system that changes that internal dialogue and does no longer have you choose comfort and dealing with the guilt, but has you choose adventure and say honor, a system that whenever you see something that might be afraid of, you go there, and that you see the suffering that comes with compromising, and that you're way more afraid of that. And you got to build a system. You can't rely on yourself.
Imagine joining the military and going off to World War II, right? You're now with a platoon of guys. Maybe you're all scared shitless. You wake up scared. But we got to do it, and my brothers depend on me, and they're going to call me out, and I have the consequences if I disobey, and it's a whole fucking thing that's going to develop you as a warrior, right?
But this is great. Really choose for something. Choose to put your trust in a system that you can develop and you can choose for, and then let that do the work for you.
Yes.
Because if you rely on you right now you know, and you got all this conditioning. You're gonna choose what you've been choosing all this time.
Yes. Now, let's use another analogy here with you, because last year, I was busy with some other business projects and stuff like that, and I knew you really wanted to do some things together business-wise and have me mentor you in business, and we didn't do that in any kind of a committed way, but I was just showing you, pointing some things out here and there. But what I often got back from you was the rationalizations to not take the bigger step, to not make the bigger commitment. I hate technology. I don't really like marketing. Like all these things that made it comfortable for you to not evolve in a business realm, and then sometimes you would come to me and you would say, it's your fault that I'm not moving forward because you're not mentoring me. It's the mentor's job. And so I said, okay, I can see where this is going. I'm not mentoring you. So that way, what it eliminates that way out for you to
But
say that
would
it's.
Would you say
what I want to say is, it leaves you feeling more pressure. Okay, it's on me, because you were coming to a point where you wanted more business growth. You were making progress to say, man, I really want this, but you were putting some of that on me, and so I said, okay, let me just take myself out of the equation, because, and I didn't have the invitation from you. Like when I tried to put it back on you, you didn't want it back on you, right? So I said, okay, this is not a place where I'm empowered as an ally or a mentor to really have you face yourself and make the jump, make the evolution, right? Because you want to put it back on me. So I said, okay, let me just not do that right now. And then as we're thinking of doing this together, what I said is, okay, let's commit to this huge monetary goal that's going to require you to transform. Like the Hans who you've been cannot attain that. You'll have to transform. And it's scary as fuck to leave everything behind and think, fuck, I might have to change a lot of shit, Might have to sacrifice some stuff. I might have to do shit that I'm scared of or I don't want or whatever. And then I also said, it's 100% you. It's not going to be me. I mean, yes, I'm here for you, but it's 100% you owning that. That way, and I can tell you feel a lot more like, hey, this is great. This energy, because it's like I'm on the battlefield and fucking there's no getting off the battlefield, and I'm for damn sure what my commitment is to you is you're not getting off the battlefield. You know what I mean? I want you feeling that. That's great. That's like a space where real transformation can happen.
So have I constructed a story for myself? Because to me the experience is one of this. Like I know what I just said about the guys, and taking that leap of faith. But to me, like say in my business ambitions, the story seems to be for me that I became interested in this challenge, and we worked a little bit together, and it's not really like I'm not making the progress that I want, but you kind of like install in me the business bug or the entrepreneurial bug.
Yes.
And you lead me on to say Dean Jackson. You gave me an example, and in that moment I see what he's saying and I go, fuck, this is great.
Yes.
This is aligned with what I do. In a way it's comfortable because it's aligned with, and I have zero doubt there, to invest.
It's funny because I noticed you look back on these choices that you've made and you say this, but what I remember is a lot of hesitation to even sign up and pay for his program.
Right.
I remember talking with you about that several times. I get that it felt more aligned for you,
right,
but there was still a lot of hesitation to sign up for that program.
Yes. But I have this...
And then once you did, you're someone who does it. You
right.
implemented and it was great.
And it's the same with you. Like my story then is, and maybe you see it different, but my story is when you say, let's have this very ambitious goal and it's all you, and I completely see, yes, for me, I didn't have to hesitate at all. I go even to the point where I go, whatever, say contract or so, or you tell me, as my ally, what you think is best. and I'll go with that.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you see a jump in that, but for me, it was not a big. It didn't feel like I had to make a big jump. It seems very natural, and I know I'm talking against myself now, because I am seeing with the guys. You know, you see the nest you have to jump from, and you got to jump. So I don't know what's going on there. If that's different, or if I'm just telling a story that seems more comfortable to me, and if it was more scary, but I don't remember it as being scary.
Well, no, but we also had spent a lot of time together by that point. I don't know if you would have made the same jump a year earlier, for example.
Exactly. So maybe, exactly, I wouldn't. So maybe I just got lucky and be like vetted into this business bug, you know, that at that point that the choice is not one that I don't have to.
It wasn't luck. I was working on you, man.
It's not like I have to jump. Like I feel I got to slide from the nest onto earth.
Yes.
That's what I feel.
Yes.
Like it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe the guys have it much harder than me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
really
inside of me, I'd already been being your ally for quite a while.
Yes.
You know, I fuck with you a lot, but a lot of my fucking with you, I'm really watching a balance of I want to make him tougher. I want to make him stronger, but okay, maybe I went too far there. Let me back off. Let me give him some space. You know, also with the...
That's a way to explain that he always loses when we fight.
Also talking, giving you shit about the money that you make and whatever, and then talking about how great it is up here and all this kind of stuff. I'm wanting to build this tension, you know, build this tension, but also giving you things to read that have you see what it's like up here, and you know, just so that you remember when we talk about have a guy wake up to where he's at in the way that it's not what he wants. Have him really confront that where he's at is not what he wants, and have him really wake up to where he could be and how great that would be and all that, and then have him wake up to like the challenge that stands in between.
I think that's a great thing of having an ally, and so I got lucky, and I think that's a good description of what happened here. But what about the guys?
I wouldn't say that you just got lucky, because I also saw you like as someone who takes action. You know, you're a warrior in life, and you know, so I was drawn to you as far as, hey, we could do something together here, you know. So there's also a responsibility of guys that you want to work with, because you want to work with warriors as well,
right?
You know, and you don't want to have to drag them
right
across the finish line.
But it is worth exploring. If I think of...
But you can set the bar so that unless you see that they're really warriors, that they really fucking want this, and you can set up your program to be such that they have to commit at a level that scares the fuck out of them.
Maybe I should. Because I don't want to like say the
to make it so that their chances of really successfully making it are greater. If you make it so comfortable and easy to jump out of the nest and they're not prepared and they're not committed, they're gonna fucking land splat on the ground.
But what helps me in this is to realize that when I'm giving them medicine, in a way, I'm making it long term. I'm making it harder for them to jump. That's a good way for me to understand that it is important that I first cultivate or bring out the warrior in them before I give medicine.
Yes. Yeah, because it's easy to just tell guys what to do, and then you could have a complaint that they're just not doing it.
Right.
You know, you could make it about them. You know, but you could be feeding that exact thing that keeps them from making the evolution that they need by just giving them the answer. And so, yes.
I'm gonna do my thing with Neo. Neo, I know you're out there.
Don't do it on my phone.
You gotta jump.
I'm gonna save you guys from having Hans' big nose in your face. Right?
Kiro, Fabian, Neo.
Yeah, you wanna watch it?
you gotta jump. You gotta jump, and then we're here for you. That's great. The big lessons for me is this. I really want to understand the thinking process, and I see it now clear now, the inner conflict between fear, the fear of doing it, the comfort of not doing it, but then having to deal with the...
We need to go do an inner conflict live to show everybody.
Let me run through it, because that's
Go ahead.
for people who don't. So the fear of doing it, the comfort of not doing it, which comes with guilt, and so that I'm going to deal with by telling myself, I know I can do it later. You know? What guys don't realize, and what I can make clear, is that it comes with suffering in the long term. Like with this girl, you're going to lose her. And more importantly, jumping the nest, which is needed for you to save your soul if you want to live this life and look back and say, wow, you just made it harder. I made it harder by giving you the medicine, by giving you a short-term solution.
Yes.
So I will not do this anymore.
Yes.
I will say, you come to me, jump. If you show me you're ready to jump, I'll give you medicine right now also.
Yes.
But only if you're ready to jump. And that is...
And there's also a challenge for you to have them have something to jump into.
Yes.
You know, a program that's going to keep the fire there.
Right.
It's going to keep them in flight, so to speak. That can really help them fly.
Right.
And, you know, they do need it taken care of in a way.
Yes.
Not just jump and, you know, maybe
Right.
I'll go splat, but like really offer them something that can help
Yes.
them really fly.
Yes.
And, yeah. So, yeah, compromise, it kills your honor. It kills your power. It kills your warrior spirit. Kills your soul. Compromise kills.
There you go. Anything else?
That's it.
We'll come back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.